question everything, trust nothing. It's your boys, Keeper and Crusader. Welcome to Crypto Wars. What are you eating?
Some dried mango fruit.
Some dried mango fruit, keeping it healthy on this official day in history, the ETF approval.
Hey man, gotta stay up to date.
And Crusader, real quick before we bring on our guests, I just want to ask you so far.
Are you gonna ask me about what we were talking about behind screen?
Definitely not asking you that. So far, who's been correct on what was going to happen with this ETF? I just curious.
If you're alluding to yourself, I think you're greatly mistaken if you think we're down 0.3% on Bitcoin today.
Versus you telling me we're blasting off to the moon, baby.
We did hit 49 this morning, and then we came back without a little retracement. So what?
God, I can't laugh, dude. My freaking rib. Crypto fam, we love you guys. We appreciate you for being here. We got some guests backstage that we're excited. We're going to break down what's happening in the markets. Obviously, we're going to talk about the ETF. We want to dive into some speculations. We're going to get some different insights from Army Piper and Tshroom. They're sitting backstage about to pull them up as to what they think is happening right now, what's going to happen in the future. We're going to analyze gold versus the Bitcoin ETF and kind of get everybody's input on that. Just a reminder real quick, Super Chats today, we are doubling everything. So if I run this across the screen real quick, we have a game called Flip or HODL. If you're new to the show, if you give $1 Super Chat, what's that?
Today's Thursday, right?
Today's Thursday. Yeah, we're playing tomorrow. $3,900. $3,900 tomorrow. So I want to throw that out there. If you look across the rolling screen across the bottom, double all of those. If you want to get your name on the wheel to get the opportunity to win $3,900 tomorrow, and then come back and be here live, show up and show out. Let's get it on. All right, let's bring them up. They're hiding backstage. One of them's got a brand new set, and I am loving it. Army Piper looking good, bro.
What's up, man? How you doing, brother?
Showing us all up, looking professional as hell, bro. I love the setup. Use a stop loss, baby. Eat, sleep, trade. Let's get it. And then we have from Investing Bros, Tshroom. What's up, brother?
Hey, it's good to be on. It's good to see you guys and talk a little crypto.
Your mic sounds really good. That sounds nice. What kind of mic is that on there?
I don't know, but I see it on TV all the time, courtside on the NBA games. So yeah.
Okay. A lot of times the headphone mics sound like crap. They sound like you're literally like in the middle of a video game. That, my friend, does not sound like crap. It sounds good. I like it.
Sounds like an airline pilot.
I appreciate it.
Like really crisp.
Yes, really the airline pilot.
Cruising down into Dallas, Texas. Thank you so much for cruising with us.
I'm just glad we don't have to wear a seat, but no, it does. It's definitely crispy clean. Chat, welcome everybody. We appreciate you for being here. Let me jump in and say hello to a couple people right quick. Crypto Pollo looks like the first one I see on the stream. Says cluck cluck peeps. Green Day Profits in the house. Crypto Wars, that's us in the house announcing ourselves. Kelly 33 wants to know, what do you mean they dumped it? Well, hey, stick around, Kelly. We're going to talk about it. Jessica, Tommy Gunn, Crypto Chef, V-Sun. We got a bunch of people in the house excited about the stream today. Let's have some fun. Let's talk some crypto. All right, so let's kick it off like this. Historic day, just round robin, and we're going to dive into analyzing this later. End of the market today. Are we up? Are we down? Crusader. Oh boy, are we having technical difficulties?
I said we're gonna be up.
Oh, okay. You kind of froze. So say Crusader says up. Army
down.
Tshroom.
Ooh, by market close. So we're talking about the 1-day candle on Bitcoin.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say we're up.
Okay. Well, then we are dead split because I'm going with Army, and I'm going to say that we are down. We will analyze that. Chat. Drop us in the chat whether you think we're going to be up or down. RC Moore says 50K by Sunday. That will be me losing my one Ethereum bet if that were to happen. And we're going to talk about what
that bet, bro. You just got all the way to April. You got a long time.
Oh, I got a long time to lose it. I already know. I actually texted Bleaves this morning and said, "Hey, you want me to go ahead and go ahead and send me over that wallet address, because I'm getting prepared. I need to save that so I can get ready to pass that off." All right, let's take a look at the markets right now. See what's cracking. For those of you that haven't been paying attention, we have got the global market cap. Let me update this. 1.77 trillion with a T dollars. Bitcoin 46,594, 46,608. Up just a hair, but ETH has been
using the crypto bubbles. Good for you, man.
What did you say?
You're using the crypto bubbles, right?
I'm using
I got the crypto bubbles up, man.
Hold on a second. Oh, I thought the wrong stream was up. Okay, I was like, wait a minute, did I share
The wrong screen was up.
Oh, I pulled up armies.
Yeah, but that's okay because I had crypto bubbles going, so I had you covered, Keeper. I got you 6.
Okay, people are just looking all over the place trying to figure out where I'm at with them. My apologies. All right, so Bitcoin's at 46.6, pretty flat. ETH has been doing its thing. My girl ripping up 7.39%. BNB up about 4%. Guys, listen, the market this morning. So just rolling through the top 10, we're green. Cardano's up over 13%. Avalanche almost 12 or 11%.
We're green and we're
7.5%. Yeah, but dude, I want to tell you guys something that I saw this morning. When we first went live, or not went live, when I first looked at the markets this morning after 9 o'clock, I don't know if any of you paid attention to this, but I pulled it up. I sent Crusader a little video. I've never, ever seen this. I literally was scrolling as fast as I could through the markets. And I swear to God, there was not a single thing that was red, except for there was 2 stable coins that were like 0.01% red. I've never seen that before. The entire market was
that's your bear market trauma speaking there. That's what happens.
It's just been too long since we've been bullish.
What the bull market's like.
Yeah, I know.
It's funny you say that because we actually talked about it on Piper Academy a couple of weeks ago that there's a thing going around right now, and it's bear market PTSD. This has been the longest bear market in crypto, and there are people that they're broken from how much bearishness happened and how much sell-off occurred and how much they lost, and they're perma bears. They can't break away from it. It's PTSD, man, at its finest.
That's Keeper by definition.
I'm riding the bear in the logo. There's a reason for it. It keeps my expectations low. Okay, when my portfolio doesn't do what I want, I can be like, okay, I wasn't expecting that. And then when it does, such a freaking great feeling. Good philosophy for life too. Just expect a little lower than what you actually want to happen. And then you can be pleasantly surprised versus disappointed.
Yeah. Shoot for the ground. You'll never miss.
Rodney was going to definitely hit that target until I broke my rib, but not happening now. So blah, blah. All right. So that's what the markets are doing. Let me see here. I got to switch this real quick. Give me 1 second. Here we go. All right, so let's do some TA. We've got some great TA analysts on the stream. Crusader, do you want to show a little bit of your TA before we ask Army and Tshroom to give us some analysis on the market?
Yeah, I can jump in and just give you my little 2 cents here.
A little 2 Satoshis.
That's right. Here we go.
I'll pull it up whenever you. Yep.
Yeah, right. So basically, we swung failed the top here at 48.5. We came all the way up as close as 49 and got rejected. Instantly got rejected there on the 1 hour. Have dropped down into the previous day range. Came all the way down, tapped that point of control, and since then we've been having a little bit of a bounce here to that price action, trying to break out of the value area high for the previous day range. We're trying to stay above that right now on the 1 hour. And if we can reclaim this, I think we're going to start slowly moving up, right? The next big level here is going to be the VWAP. Obviously, that's going to be a bullish sign. If we reclaim the VWAP, if we get rejected from the VWAP, then obviously we can expect some sideways squiggles here, right? You know, who knows what's going to happen. But if we reclaim that VWAP by, before the end of the day, we're going to keep moving. Maybe start moving up towards that previous day high again. Who knows? I mean, we don't know how Bitcoin's going to behave now with previous day closes and previous day with the day closing and on the ETF situation, right? And then over here on ETH, kind of a similar situation, not as similar. It didn't have a massive drop like Bitcoin's done, right? It rose heavy yesterday. Then it's been sideways consolidating above the daily open here, holding that daily open pretty strong. If we lose the daily open, I will be jumping into a short for ETH. But right now we're just fighting to try to reclaim this the VWAP. And kind of creating a little bit of a double bottom situation here. Really, some really tight booty cheeks, but it looks like a little bit of a double bottom situation. If we can reclaim this VWAP, it's good. But if we get rejected and lose this daily open, I'll be looking for shorts.
All right, so we see where Crusader's at. Who wants to hit it first, Army or Tshroom?
If you'll let me go, I'm actually going to show you why we're down today, and then I'm going to show you why we're going up.
All right,
and then we can break down into a smaller time frame. So this is why we're down today, guys. And we were talking about this on Monday for the start of the week. What's coming up this week in the macroeconomic events, and it's the inflation rate year over year. We were at 3.1%, had been coming down consistently every single month on this. We had a consensus for 3.2% and a forecast of 3.1. We actually came in at 3.4. So this is the first time in months, like over a year, that we have gone up in inflation, which is the Federal Reserve has to be all crapping their pants right now because this is not what they want. This has actually changed the rollout of the prediction for rate cuts from the FOMC from March out to May now. And this is why everything sold off today, to include stocks, everything. So the Dixie pumped on this news. I told everybody on Monday this would happen on Thursday if these numbers came out as what they were projecting at 3.2, and then we actually came in even hotter than what it was projected to be, and that scared all the investors this morning. So mad frenzy of sell-off today. It is not long-term though, and the reason that I say that is jump over here and take a look at my handy dandy chart, which I've showed you guys this.
Let me just try to interrupt here for a minute. Sorry about that, just so I can fully understand. So you're saying because inflation was higher than expected, the dollar's going to go up and people are selling off their assets?
Correct. When inflation goes up,
wouldn't people buy more?
No, risk off. People go risk off when the economy has uncertainty, and that's what this is. This is economic uncertainty. That means risk off. That means everyone pulls their money and sits on it. So, and that's exactly what we had here. Matter of fact, if I pull up the Dixie first and just show you what happened here this morning when this data came out, looking here at the Dixie on the 1 hour, and this data came out about 6:30 in the morning my time. Let me clean off some of this squigglies here. We got a lot of squigglies on this chart. We had that information come out about 6:30 a.m. my time. So that would be right in this ballpark right here. Yep, that's it. And that was the pump up. But we did hit the trend assistant here on ChartPrime's indicators, and that was pretty much the level that we stayed at. Right now, it's starting to come back down. But this morning, this pump is what pulled all that scared money out of markets, crypto and stocks. So, but did you want to say anything on that real fast before I go into my other chart?
Why would people want to hold more dollars if inflation
scared money, man?
Why wouldn't they want to hold
they think that
increase over time?
They don't have diamond hands. 99% of investors do not have diamond hands. They do not watch your show and know about HODL like it's hot. So that's what we'll put out there. Okay. Taking a look here though, you guys have seen this chart before, and for those in the chat right now that have not, this is a long running Fibonacci channel of Bitcoin over its entire history, and I'm sure that you and Crusader remember way back when we were down here, and I said, look, we're not going to break the 786. If we do, we've got bigger problems than going up, because it's going to be going down even further. The 786 line that is on here, it respected it perfectly. As soon as we got close to it here, it went up. As soon as we got close to it here, we went up again. And I think this is the last time that I was on your show talking about this chart. I was like, look, this line, we got to hold this as support. I said, and if this continues on, when we get to the 786, we should project up. And that's exactly what happened. Now, what you're seeing here, though, on these three blocks here, these are the three phases of a Bitcoin cycle. We have a bottoming, and there's horizontal fibs running on here. I didn't go from the top peak on this one because I think that was an over-exaggerated dead cat bounce that we had on after the dip. I actually think that the pi cycle topping was where we actually had the true top. And so that's measured off of that on the horizontals. But if we go downward here to the first cycle, you can see we have a bottoming, candle closes. We get some wicks below, but candle closes is the phase one. We go into phase two, and that phase two runs up to the golden pocket. Once it breaks that, you got the platinum pocket up here, and we stay in phase three. Now, what I want to point out is that we always come back and test that 0.66 on the golden pocket before going up to the parabolic run. Last cycle, we had a little bit of a shift up on it where we got really bullish and we went up into a phase two and a phase three, but then pulled back to a phase two. We had the Corona dumpage there. But once we got back into phase three for the real time, the true phase three, we came back, and you can see right here, we tested that 0.66 again. So taking a look at what we have this cycle, and a lot of people have said that the current Bitcoin cycle mirrors more the 2016 cycle than it does the 2021 cycle. So if we're going off of that information, we should not do a phase two, phase three again. And right now we have entered the phase three cycle on here and broke into the platinum pocket. I'm gonna bring this in a little bit closer so everyone can see what I'm talking about here. If we pull back, it should, based on historics, pull back to the 0.66 here, which is at 38,400-ish range. It should come back here before we go up. Why is that significant? Well, I'm glad you asked, Crusader. Coming over here and pulling this up, we're going to go down and we're going to take a look right here at the this is going to be our daily CME Futures, and we have a massive gap on here that sits right down here at about 40,000 for the start, and to close that out, we would have to break 39,600. If you take a look at that 39,600 again, that is just above 38,400 that we would have to hit for that bounce there to the upside for the run. So we are right on schedule with how Bitcoin is supposed to work, regardless of what you're looking at. I explain the analogy like this. If you're sitting there, if you ever seen the movie Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, and the kids were running through the grass, they were teeny tiny running through the grass, and what huge droplets of like water explosions happening all around them, and it was like an apocalyptic moment for him. But then it zoomed out, and Dad was just watering the lawn, listening to REO Speedwagon. That's where we are right now. Zoom out a little bit. We're on schedule. Things are looking good. You can let your PTSD down, Keeper.
So hold on. The lawnmower is chasing me, and you want me to let my PTSD down?
Yes.
Okay. I got to work through that. I'm in the middle of I'm at war right now, and you want me to let my guard down.
You're the guy behind the lawnmower. You just don't realize it. Controls in your hand. You got this.
Oh, I like that. I'm the guy behind the lawnmower. Hey, I want to give a shout out. Jenna X is in the stream. We have got Trading Wars. Shout out to you, Jenna. She's going to be on Trading Wars. That starts Monday, January 15th. That's this coming Monday, 1:30 p.m. Eastern. Brand new setup. Army's going to be on the stream as well. We're kicking 2 people off each week. So you guys, it's getting serious this season. It's going to be a little bit or a lot of it different. So make sure that you guys tune in for that. It's going to be really exciting. We got a really good cast, and there's prizes. There's money to be won. So if you want to sign up under our link, we're going to have a trading competition. With the leaderboard was kind of screwy last time. We have moved over to a new partner in LevX for our exchange, which we're super excited about. So if you want to sign up underneath us for that trading competition, depending on how many people jump into that competition, the prizes could get big. So jump in there, guys. We're going to have some fun.
It's a little different this time. Last time, the audience was trading against the traders on the show. This time, I believe the audience is just trading against the audience, and there's going to be about maybe top 3 traders will get a reward. It's not just going to be the one best trader.
Yeah, for sure. So make sure to come join us for that.
I'm going to drop the link in the chat. I'm going to pin it so you guys can take care of that if you guys want to jump in there and get ready for Trading Wars on Monday.
So Tshroom, let me ask you this. Let me switch this up on you a little bit, as you probably just dove in and looked through some TA. I'm going to ask you a TA question, but are you seeing any anomalies or things happening that you weren't expecting to happen as we, crept closer to and then into today? And if so, can you show me on the charts kind of what you're seeing or what we expect from it?
No, it's kind of like what Piper was saying is, from an analysis standpoint, everything looks like all systems go. I'm on my screen. I don't know if you can see it or not, but
why can I not see yours? No, I need you to share that thing, brother.
All right.
As he shares his screen, smash those likes. We got about 155 people in here. I'm hoping to have 155 likes. And make sure you subscribe to the channel. Turn on your the bell notification. Then also make sure, if you're not following Army Piper, follow that at Piper Academy. Let's get Piper Academy up to 700 subs today. He just started recently. His conversion rate is on fire. Let's get him up there. And I think Investing Bros, shout out to you, Tshroom. I think you guys just passed 7K, right? So you guys have been growing well also. Right. So if you're not sub to Investing Bros, make sure to check them out. All right, there you go, Tshroom. You got it pulled up.
Absolutely. I appreciate it. Yeah, so like I said, Piper kind of called it real well there, is that everything is kind of all systems go as predicted. I was thinking that we would have a lot more volatility on day one of these spot Bitcoin ETFs going live. We're seeing something like, it depends how you measure it, but we're seeing something like 1.2 to 3.5 billion new inflows that came in, and that kind of responsible for this movement higher here. But a lot of that was not all given back, right? With a move to the downside that actually pushed through, penetrated down, sliced right on through this uptrending line of support that I've got drawn here, put us down below the midline of the Bollinger Band. And now we're trying to knock back on the door and say, hey, let us back in to these prices above 46.5. Whether or not we'll get back in today, I'm not sure. I'm kind of betting that we are. But the red histograms down here on the 1 hour are kind of telling a different story, as they are accelerating to the downside of the MACD lines pointing down. So in terms of anomalies, I'm not seeing too many anomalies, just a lot less volatility than I thought we would see. I was kind of thinking we could potentially go up and see all-time highs in just like, a matter of the market open within hours, and then a whipsaw down to 35,000. That's kind of what I was setting up for. That's not what we got, and that's probably for the best, right? Because all the 401k holders and the pension funds, they don't want to see that level of volatility. So the fact that we really didn't go too much further outside of this, just a general regression trend, is actually pretty comforting, I would imagine. So that's kind of the way that I'm thinking about it. Not really many anomalies that I would say. Just the event in general is an anomaly. I really like what Balaji Srinivasan posted last night, in that we're kind of seeing a reversion back to the gold standard, right? It's we gave it up in 71, and now we're kind of going back to a instead digital of a physical gold, it's a digital gold standard. So that's the anomaly that I'm seeing.
That's interesting. We're going to dive into the comparison later. Right? Yeah, we're going to dive into that comparison later. So that's a great call out there, Tshroom. I have not heard it discussed that way, but I'm excited to break that down later on and get your guys' opinion on it. So Crusader,
well, I told you that.
What'd you say?
That's why I told you to bring Tshroom on with me today. This guy's a genius, man. Love him.
Well, I'm glad that he's here, and if you guys are glad that he's here, make sure to smash that like. Crusader, do we have any Twitters that we're looking to share this afternoon, or are we just gonna? Okay,
for sure we do. I'm gonna share my screen right now. Just want to quickly remind everybody that's watching right now: Flip and HODL tomorrow, which is a mix between Deal or No Deal and Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. We're gonna be playing that game here live on the show, 1:30 p.m. Eastern tomorrow, Friday. And there's $3,900 on the line. And if you're saying, well, how do I get in? How do I get involved with this game? Well, look at the banner scrolling down below right now. Well, actually, not that bad.
I got it. I got it. I'll switch it.
Everyone that sends every single dollar super chat is one entry on the wheel. If you're a member, that's a double. And if you gift the memberships, that's 3 times. But this week, we're running a special. Everything is doubled. So gifting memberships is a 6x. Becoming a member is a 4x, and any super chat sent in is a 2x on entries.
And Crusader, so that the people are. So I know a lot of times when some of the shows like kind of run giveaways or whatever, they're like, yeah, right. But can I actually win? Well, I'm just saying, like, when people are giving away money, like, can I actually win money? Let me just tell you, the last 3 weeks, $1,100 somebody won last week, $700 the week before that, and $872 the week before that. Christmas. So the answer is yes. People are winning real deal money over here. So if you want to get on that wheel, just toss that out there. All right, Crusader, let's dive into Twitter. Let's see what's going on. On the X platform. I'm gonna get that at some point.
Very important stuff coming out on Twitter here for everybody that doesn't know what's going on, and for institutions, they're gonna quickly learn. This is the reality.
What are you backed by? I'm not backed by anything. I am the one who backs everything.
That's right. That's right. That's exactly what's going on. Right. For all the institutions, they're learning today. Bitcoin is going to take over whether they like it or not. The internet, who said it? Anthony Pompliano said it on Squawk Box today. The internet memed a asset into the stock market. The Wall Street has always hated the internet, and now they had to blink and bend the knee to the internet and have to post Bitcoin on there.
Oh, that's
so that was a great victory for all of us out here. Dude, we got a video here with Cathie Wood's talking about her base case for Bitcoin being $600,000, and her bull case is $1.5 million. So let me see if I can share my volume here real quick.
$1.5 million. That will be a hell of a Bitcoin price. I believe it's going to be a long time before we get there. But
that's just your bear market trauma, bro.
Yeah, exactly. My PTSD. Let's hear what she's got to say.
Conversations now over many years where you've talked about Bitcoin being worth something on the order of $500,000.
But quick interruption, but do I just see a $20 super chat in the Chat? Yes, I do.
Yes, you do. From Army Piper himself, a little kick
Let's
in
go.
for the giveaway. Much love be to the viewers, Army Piper. Thank you very much, Army. I'm gonna let you. I'm gonna let you pick a couple people on the stream to give that to, since I'm just assuming that you're probably not trying to be the one to grab. If you want to grab it, grab it. I'll put your name on the wheel.
No,
The man's
that's
like, I
not for
wanna be
me.
on the wheel too, bro.
Let's go with Dave Digital.
Nice.
Let's go with Crypto Pollo.
Okay.
Let's go with, and I'll do 4 people. Bedredden.
Okay.
And let's go with Dutchy.
And
Gotta go with Dutchy.
Dutchy earlier said pass the Dutchy, so you know.
Crypto Pollo also was the one that won like $700 on one of the
Oh,
weeks.
yep. Crypto Pollo sure did.
$2.99. That's 4 slots on the wheel for Crypto Gamer.
I already did that one, caught up on it, and adding the other ones. Yes, sir. Thank you very much. We appreciate you, Army. We love you, bro.
All right, literally in only a couple of years from now, do you stand by that? How does this ETF change that, speed that up, slow it down? What do you think?
Yes, so you'll find in our big ideas, so that's at arc-invest.com, the building blocks for our price forecast. And our base case is in the $600,000 range. Our bull case, and we think the probability of the bull case has increased with this SEC approval. This is a green light. Our bull case is $1.5 million by 2030. You can see the building blocks. You can see how.
Bro, what was
I'm rich, bitch, because I know what those altcoins are going to look like at $1.5 million Bitcoin. I'm gonna tell you what.
I saying yesterday on the show?
No,
500K by the end of the decade. This girl is calling for $1 million over that.
Hold on my refrigerator, it says Old Fashions and Beach 2030. If we have a $1.5 million Bitcoin, I'm gonna tell y'all, you're not gonna be seeing me on YouTube. You can just say goodbye, or actually, you'll see me. Crusader and I will be kicked up on the beach, feet crossed. Excuse me, sir, could you please bring me an old fashioned? And we'll just hang out, because that's what we'll be doing at a $1.5 million Bitcoin.
Are you saying you're not here for the technology, bro?
I'm not.
How conservative we are in terms of those building blocks. This is a big idea. It is the first global, decentralized, digital, rules-based, critical there, rules-based monetary system in history. It is a very big idea.
That's actually a very good point. The rule-based, the thing that a lot of people don't ever lean on or really focus on. They just, it's just money. But there are rules. There is, situations that Bitcoin has to follow, which makes it, right? The code is law, which is what makes it hard money.
Let me ask you guys this, Tshroom and Army. I'll ask you first, Army. So who was it? Enrique Suave, longtime follower of the show, says Woods is always a little too bullish. Is 600 to 1.5 million a little too bullish for you? Or do you think that this actually could be a reality by 2030? We're talking 6 years from now.
600K. Yeah, I can see that in 2030. I think 1.5 million is pushing it a little hard, and he's right. She is usually a little bullish, a lot bullish,
a lot of bullish,
but a lot of bullish. But I mean, she's made some great calls in the past too. I mean, she didn't just wake up one day and become a name in the space. Yeah, she's made some really good calls in her history. So, I'd love for her to be right. But probably 1.5K is pushing a little too hard, in my opinion.
Yeah, 1.5 million is going to be a big number. Tshroom, what are your thoughts? Sorry, Crusader, I did it at the exact same time as you were. But Tshroom, what are your thoughts on? And now let me say this before I ask you this: Cathie Wood's also the same person who has been massively dumping Coinbase shares recently, leading up to the ETF, which made me question. I didn't bring this up on the show, but it made me question. If she's dumping Coinbase shares and Coinbase is the custodian for the ETF, does she know something that we don't know? And we're going to talk later about the liquidations that happened this morning as part of this ETF. So, Tshroom, is 1.5 million way too bullish? And also, is she actually always the permeable dumping Coinbase shares leading up to this ETF?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think that is I mean, obviously it's more bullish than what the stock to flow model would predict. Around $450,000 is kind of where we'll peak and then maintain. But the stock to flow model it's a model, right? It's in every cycle, Bitcoin's price actually supersedes it, goes higher than that. And then it comes back down lower than that. It doesn't maintain that perfect stock to flow model price prediction. With that said, I mean, she's bullish, and she's not pulling any punches about it, right? She can be wrong on the charts, but she's still right for her clients, right? So the more bullish she is, the more money her clients make. And what do you think she cares about more, being right about predicting the price of Bitcoin, or getting more clients and keeping smiles on faces over at ARK Invest? I think the answer speaks for itself. In terms of her selling and rotating capital out of Coinbase, I think it was a pretty good move. I mean, technically, Coinbase was getting pretty overbought. You could make the argument it's going to go higher. I haven't sold my Coinbase, and I have sold some kind of crypto exposed instruments, but I haven't sold my Coinbase. I think Coinbase is going to continue to do well. But there is an interesting thesis, and I don't know if this is why she sold, but if you think about it, yes, Coinbase definitely seems like the darling custodian for the major institutions who have issued these spot Bitcoin ETFs. However, how much volume is going to actually flow out of Coinbase that is DCAing Bitcoin and paying a fee, monthly, weekly, daily, whatever it is, and just going to go buy the ETF on the New York Stock Exchange, on Robinhood or TD Ameritrade instead of Coinbase. So, it depends on, how much revenue Coinbase is actually making from their fees on app, and how much they stand to gain from custodial services to the institutions. I don't think that's the reason. That's the thesis for why Cathie Wood sold. I think the sell thesis for her is simple. She's got X amount of dollars allocated towards crypto exposed facing funds, and she doesn't want to liquidate anything else. She doesn't want to liquidate, the spot Bitcoin. She wants to go ahead and liquidate Coinbase so that she can seed that ARK B fund, right? That new, just get some liquidity in that ETF for the race, right? For the, what's it called? The Cointucky Derby. I really like that.
I haven't heard that one. That's good. That's good.
And then also, just to make sure she's not pulling money out of, like, say, the genomics fund that they have, or just like the general growth fund, because that could kind of get political, I'm sure, internally to ARK Invest. It'd be better to just say, hey, crypto team, let's reallocate this money that we've got for Coinbase. Let's go ahead and use that to seed the fund, and that's a smart move. She also sold off GBTC. I believe she sold all of that off at the same time, kind of citing the counterparty risk of GBTC. I too took that cue. I waited a couple days to kind of see how to react. It didn't seem like the price reacted at all to that or the NAV. But I went ahead and liquidated that just because of the counterparty risk. She makes a great point. Now, I've been proven wrong to that, but I haven't lost anything, right? Because that went right. I rotated it right back into. Actually, I believe I bought AVAX with that I sold GPTC for. So so there you go.
Didn't actually lose it. And Crusader, what's your input on this?
Yeah, dude, my thoughts are pretty simple on this aspect. I think what's going on here? Just clicked on something I wasn't supposed to.
I do want to, before you say this, $10 super chat from Brett. Thank you very much, Brett. He said, what's everyone's thoughts on the cycles with the ETFs in place? Smaller ups and downs for bear bulls, or still big drops? Okay.
Continue. Yeah, we'll get everyone's thoughts. My thoughts are simple on that. I think we're going to super cycle. But outside of that, with the previous answer with Cathie Woods, I think what she knows, and the reason why she's selling Coinbase, right? I agree a lot with what Tshroom is saying there, is basically, why hold Coinbase when you can buy more Bitcoin before the ETFs get in, right? If her bull case really is $1 million, $1.6 million Bitcoin in the next 6 years, Coinbase ain't gonna bring those type of returns, right? Why hold Coinbase? Hold Bitcoin, right? You don't even have to hold the ETF. Just buy more Bitcoin and hang on to that bad boy like MicroStrategy is doing. And I think if that is what she's doing, she's putting her mouth where her money is, and she's making it happen. And I think that gives confidence to her investors as well, that she's not just talking a lot of game about Bitcoin and then buying a bunch of crappy stocks and trying to outperform the stock market.
I think it'll be really interesting as all of these traditional finance, people start to get a taste the crypto markets. I saw Crypto Billy earlier today said something about, you know, the stock market guys got a little taste of some crypto movement, and I think that that's going to be fun. That's going to be interesting. But I think what people are going to see, you know, when you have an ETF, when you have just when you get your statements in the mail every month, I always get my statement in the freaking mail, and I always look at it and I always question. I'm like, why the hell am I doing this? Like, why? Right? Because the numbers suck, and I'm outperforming them like hand over fist with everything that I'm personally doing. But I've got somebody else managing some money for me because I thought it was a smart long-term play. I did it a long time ago. At any event, the whole point.
Does he pay you to manage your money? Do you give him advice?
I should be. It should be the other way around. I should call him and say, listen, this freaking sucks. Let me tell you how to better strategize with my money. And then you could do it yourself and you could start paying me. No, but what I wanted to say was, I think that as clients start getting their returns, getting their statements, they're going to start to see, okay, that's kind of flat. That's kind of flat. What the hell's and I think that more and more and more people are going to get a taste, and then maybe the phone calls start to happen. Excuse me.
That's right.
I'm only allocated a very small percentage of Bitcoin. I'm trying to figure out, or Ethereum if the ETF comes out for that, or XRP or whatever. But that is coming. That's coming because the older generation who aren't comfortable yet, or maybe never will be comfortable with the blockchain, is comfortable with what their financial advisor tells them to do and says, manage my money. You're the money person. You do this, continue to do it. So as they roll out more and more of these, I mean, I can't see it anything but a bull case. The entire world, the young generation is going to be in on it. The older generation's got somebody else managing it for them. And then, you know, us YouTubers managing it for ourselves and trying to, you know, sell the sell the people on the idea that
directly into the next Twitter post here, or X post. And by the way, guys, smash those likes. We got 200 people in here. Let's get 100 likes. Performance, right?
Talk about a bear. 100 likes with 200 people. I mean, what a bearish ask.
Look at this performance of Bitcoin, right? You were just talking about people getting the sheet, right, and then calling their financial advisors or whatever. Look at the cumulative amount of Bitcoin percent performance in the last 10 years versus the regular stock market. SPX, right, 226%. Bitcoin is up 315,000%, right? Like, it's only been a few years, which is like bear market years, that something has done better than Bitcoin that 1 year. But if you analyze it right here, Bitcoin 124% annually, SPX 13%, HY 5%, gold 2%.
How do you think?
Go ahead.
How do you think the financial advisors are going to feel when they realize that? Because I think it's like a 12-year cycle on stocks. It runs a 12-year cycle. How do you think they're going to feel when they realize that? Oh my gosh, Bitcoin does a 4-year cycle and then does another parabolic run, not 12 years. Like, I can flip way more money in Bitcoin than I can my traditional markets. Wait till that happens.
Yeah, dude, it's the lagging effect of Bitcoin, right? Like, of the awareness of how Bitcoin really performs. These ETFs, even though they haven't performed the way we thought they were going to perform off the rip, I think exactly what Keeper was saying, right? As they start seeing these performances and start getting these reports, the financial advisor are going to be like, yo, we got to sell more Bitcoin because this thing is going to rip. And people are going to be saying, why am I not outperforming when this guy over here got into this Bitcoin thing 3 months ago? Why didn't you tell me about that?
Bam Bam with a $5 super chat says, hit the likes. What's your top 2 AI plays this run? If you have time, please, Bam Bam. We might get into that. I did throw one of those out the other day, and in a week it was up like 200% or something like that.
What was it called again?
AI Tech.
AI Tech is the ticker. Solidus.
Solidus was the company. AI Tech. Yeah, it had been ripping. So that's my pick. AI Tech. That's my AI pick for the.
Anyone else have an AI Tech? An AI pick? I don't have any AI picks.
I'll have Crypto Archie on my show tomorrow morning. I'll see what he says about AI picks. So he's the gym master. So.
Oh yeah. Okay. I am. I'm not familiar with what he does. You said he's big into AI.
Yeah, he's made more money than all 4 of us on the screen in the past year with his small cap. He's a small cap tokenomics genius. He's phenomenal. Yeah, so I'll have to get you his contact info. You'd love having him on. So
okay, cool. Yeah, we always love bringing people on for sure.
I want to get your thoughts on this. What do you guys feel about how Vanguard says they refuse a Bitcoin ETF because it doesn't align with their philosophies? I personally see this, and I see Sears, I see Toys R Us all over again now wanting to pivot to the internet, right? People are never going to stop coming to the store, right? People are always going to come to the store and shop in person. What do you guys feel about this? How do you
Well,
guys
hold on. Before you do that, real quick, great question. But before you do that, I just want to throw out there, Clay the Great just gifted 20 memberships on the stream. Shout out to Clay the Great. We appreciate you, Clay. We got a whole bunch of new members. And reminder, guys, all running across the stream, if you guys toss super chats now that you're members, you're going to get 4x on your money, because normally members get a 2x multiplier, and tomorrow it's for $3,900. So show up tomorrow on the stream, 1:30 p.m. Crypto Face is coming on. We're going to be spinning a wheel with your names on the wheel, and just be here, and somebody's going to win.
Welcome to all the new members. We got Crypto Soul, French Toast. No, French Toast was already. Bam Bam, Blockchain Bonehead, Kami Sutra, Kanya Mike, Elite Crypto, Miko, Raymond, Jerry, and I believe there's one I cannot pronounce, Olumide Orukoto.
It was good. It was good pronunciation. That was solid.
Yeah,
you got it right on.
That's the best I got. And Arctic Fox with a $5 Canadian super chat.
I've been getting good at converting Canadian, because we have a lot of Canadians that come in here and giving super chats. So thank you very much, Arctic Fox. We love you, brother. Arctic Fox was the one that won $1,100.
Oh yes, he did. He won $1,100 last week. That's right.
Sweet,
dude. Yeah. He won.
Arctic Fox won $1,100 last week. Like hell yeah.
Yeah, and Crypto Polo, he won 700, I believe, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. Okay, get back to your question. My bad, Crusader. I just got 20 memberships, and I was like, damn, I need to point that out.
No ETF, doesn't want to align with the times. Is this a replay of Toys R Us and Sears now wanting to pivot to the internet? What are your guys' thoughts?
This is a good question.
Yeah, I could take it. I was thinking about this one the other day. All right, I was thinking about this when it came out today. You know, it's kind of like a bet that it makes more sense to take than not take. You know, Vanguard has been, you know, they're a big AUM as well, and you know they do a lot of the same things that you know, the Valkyries and the Blackrocks and the Fidelities do, right? But I think the fact that they were slow to kind of make moves and apply for a spot Bitcoin ETF, I think it kind of put them, you know, behind. And you know, if I'm there's an opportunity with that though, right? Because then you can kind of become the bear. And if you're right, then you win big. It's kind of like taking the under on a wide spread, right? And you never know. You could be right. And I think that Vanguard has a lot. Doesn't have a lot to lose here, because if they're wrong, then you know they just kind of keep going,
keep doing what they're doing.
Business, yeah. Just they're already really big, and they're I think they're like in the top 3 AUMs on the planet. So the most that they would have to lose is if Bitcoin really takes off, and you know there's some governments that flip, you know, and they just turn off their currency and go straight into Bitcoin. If Bitcoin really gets, you know, this kind of hypers drive into the adoption that, you know, some of us think is going to happen, that then they would be a loser, right? Because they didn't equip their clients for success in the future. But I think more likely is, you know, their clients are going to be fine with the, you know, the 9 to 12%, you know, annual that they're going to get, you know, just from the stock market. And, you know, but they're not going to experience that generational wealth that you know, folks to the left and right of them are going to experience. But I think a lot of the folks who would care about that, they really only just, they're in a defensive position. They're not looking for high flyers. They're not looking for growth. They just want to, they really just want the energy stocks. They want the pharmaceuticals that are going to pay a dividend. And that's okay, right? Everybody can invest the way they want.
Everybody.
And I think Vanguard with this move has really positioned themselves as the conservative, you know, Wall Street operator, and that's the kind of folks that they're going to get, very conservative, you know. So it may be hard to upsell. You know, they might see their margins kind of thin out as they have to kind of brand themselves that way. But you know, so I illustrated some things that they could lose, but I think overall they kind of have a nice little bet here, because they're one of the only big guys on Wall Street who haven't taken this bet. And now they can kind of play the bear role. We'll see how much they play that card, though.
Yeah, see how long they play it anyway. Army, do you agree, disagree, thoughts?
I think you're going to see him come in with one later on. They're sitting in the weeds, waiting to see how it plays out for everyone else before they jump into it. Because at the end of the day, I mean, they've got advisors over there and managers over there that are looking at models and making their recommendations and stuff for how they can move and structure themselves. It's going to be a matter of time that they go, okay, we've seen this play out. It's looking like it's good. Adoption is still early into crypto, especially in the traditional finance world. They're day one, they're brand new infants. So, they got plenty of time to get out to the masses of, that don't tune into great content like this on YouTube every day, because we're the early adopters. So we're going to make it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Let's get it.
Crusader, anything else on the X platform?
We got one more thing on the X platform, a quick one here. Analysts are saying that now with the Bitcoin ETF being approved, the spot Ethereum ETFs are your runway. They were talking about the deadline being somewhere around May 19th. Do you guys believe that will happen? Ethereum ETF happen this year, whether it's May or not, just this year alone?
Yes. First of all, I think it's going to happen. Yes. And one more. Yes. First of all, I think it's going to happen. Hold on this way. I always got to look at my background to see which way I'm going here. Yeah, I believe that it will, and I think that I think it's going to be a simple reason. I think that the once people realize and see the returns that are yielding from a spot Bitcoin ETF and the positive impact that's having on their portfolio, they're going to be open to the idea that, hey, wait a minute, this whole crypto thing is the real deal. It's real money. It is working, and it is building my portfolio. So people are going to be beating down the door and saying, hey, listen, Bitcoin's been the top dog. It's worked. It's time to take the next step. Ethereum, let's get that rocking and rolling. And I don't see any reason why not. Let's be fair. All of these massive players like BlackRock are making, albeit a quote unquote nominal fee, but when you take 0.25% on trillions of dollars, it's a big freaking number, right? Mm-hmm. And so they're making a ton of money on getting people involved in this, not to mention whatever else, they're selling said clients. I don't see it being anything other than a win. And if you want to argue that, crypto's going to, like be a Peter Schiff and say, it's headed to zero and all this craziness, right? The only way that anything like that even happens is if our freaking grid goes down. And good news, everybody, if the grid goes down, you got a lot more to worry about than what your Bitcoin bags are sitting at. You better have a whole lot of freedom seeds sitting around and some food and water and other things like I guess, yeah, I don't see it can be anything other than absolutely yes. Army, you said you agree?
I agree. Yeah, I think it's going to be out this year, and very bullish on it. I want to be the astronaut right here floating through Ethereum space. That's where I want to be, past the moon, coming through the portal here, on the way to the beach that Keeper and Crusader are sitting on. So
that's right. 62%. I don't recommend this to people because we're not giving financial advice at all, but 62% of my portfolio is actually ETH. So I want to see it, baby. Let's rocket it to the moon along with Bitcoin.
What about you, Tshroom?
So I have a little bit of a different take. I think if there was going to be a spot ETF that was rejected, I think it would be ETH. But I think that the possibility of that,
dare you,
is not. I think it will be passed, but I think that there's a little bit of a lower chance that it will be passed than what we saw with Bitcoin. I think ultimately what gets it across the end zone is the fact that there are already futures ETFs that are issued for it. Mm-hmm. So there's already futures trading on top of ETH. The argumentation that you would use is really not there. But what I'd say is Gary kind of left kind of his foot in the door to saying no. And as we saw, if you actually look at the votes, he was the swing vote that approved the Bitcoin ETF. Now, you could say there was a lot of political pressure. It wasn't so much his choice. He had to do it or his head was going to roll, not literally. But I think that it's a little bit different. It's a little bit different with ETH, and I think he kept his foot in the door to say no with some of the language he used in his kind of his warning. So I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. I think his days may be numbered. I've been on record as saying there may be a chance that this is the period that he goes ahead and gets fired. Especially, we saw how poorly he handled the website getting overloaded. It's not that hard to get more server space in anticipation of a giant traffic influx. And then obviously, the debacle that happened with the X and the two-factor authentication. I think that not on those things alone, but that and in the pattern of just kind of obvious bias towards the crypto industry, I think it's probably time for Congress to go ahead and see him out the door, right? And then that would leave Hester Pearson. I don't know what the replacement process looks like to put in a new commissioner, but there you go. I mean, and that's kind of the way that I see it. I think Ethereum ETF, spot Ethereum ETF ultimately does get passed. It gets across the finish line, but I think it has a less chance of getting that green light than the Bitcoin ETF. So I'm not going to be utterly shocked. And if it does get rejected, I think it goes to the courts. Maybe the Supreme Court, I don't know, but I think it does go to another body, perhaps just straight to Congress, to get sorted out, because there is that question of, is it a security? Because Bitcoin doesn't have an organization behind it pulling any kind of strings. Yep. Whereas Ethereum, you can make the argument that there is a little bit more agency going on by human beings that you can name, like Vitalik and others. So that there is a little bit more argumentation, a little bit more rhetoric that could go behind its being a security. So but the other thing too is that, well, XRP has been deemed to not be a security. So could we live in a world where there's an XRP ETF, spot ETF, and not an Ethereum spot ETF? I don't know. So ultimately, I think it's going to get across that finish line, but it could get a little hairy. And I think that markets might get kind of scared of that lead up, because there'll be some stronger arguments for it not crossing the finish line.
Yeah, I can see
like
that for sure. My only rebuttal to that would be there is a lot of big money behind Ethereum that would definitely push Ethereum over the finish line for that ETF. So follow-up question on that: if it is approved, are we getting $1 million Ethereum?
Whoa!
I'm just saying, right? We got a 1.6.
Hold on, that beach that I was sitting on, I own the entire thing.
Exactly.
Okay, I own all of it.
Look how Keeper gets all excited when we talk about Ethereum. Bitcoin, he's like, never,
let's go.
Never. Ethereum, anything's possible. What are you guys' thoughts on price action? Like, everyone's thinking conservatively, maybe 8 to 12K for ETH this next bull run, right? As tops for it. But if we do get an ETF, do you guys think that pushes those projections higher, or those projections remain unfazed?
Yeah, I can see 15K off of that, off of ETF easily, if it gets approved, and depending on when it gets approved.
Yeah,
that matters too, right?
Timing is everything.
How much time's left in the timing is everything.
How much time's left in the what? What were you going to say?
How much time's left in the run, in the bull run, I think is what he's saying.
Oh, okay.
And that's assuming the 4-year cycles are still on now. And that's a whole other, ball of wax.
Yeah, super cycle could be a thing now. We may see, because, a lot of people that are in stock market money, they just sit on that. They collect their money in little portions as they need it, and they leave it there. So to put this in perspective, because I had a friend of the show, Piper Academy, that lives here in the area, that came over one day, and he's like, but the stock markets, like cryptos is big. And I said, no, dude. And I pulled it up for him and showed him. And at the time, it was like $1.65 trillion for the total crypto market cap. I said, this is all 20,000 plus cryptos in the world are 1.6 trillion. And then I pulled up Apple, and I said, Apple's 3.3 trillion, dude. Crypto is so small in comparison to the money that's about to come in. So, he was clueless. He was floored by it. So, that is where the average crypto person that's not tuning into this type of content every day sits at. They don't understand how small crypto is and how big the potential upside is that's coming down the line. So,
I think so many
thought on that as well. But
go ahead, hit it.
What I'm hearing a lot of, like, kind of Wall Street non-crypto types asking the question of this was asked last night in Cathie Wood's her X Spaces kind of debuting, that big announcement, obviously. But a lot of folks were asking her, what is the use case for Ethereum? What is the use case for Bitcoin? And she had some good answers for it. But I do think that 401k holders in America and Wall Street at large, they need to be able to see this in their everyday life, right? People feel comfortable buying shares of Walmart, Google, Amazon, because they see these logos and they interact, they feel it, they touch it, they get mad at it, they love it. They have relationships. In crypto, we obviously have very deep relationships with these brand names, with these cryptocurrencies. For the average person, until they can go swipe and pay for gas and groceries, right? With Bitcoin or with Ethereum, there's still going to be a barrier. So I think 2024 and 2025, this needs to be the cycle of adoption too. And I really put my hope, it may not be well founded here, but I put my hope in Wall Street, right? Because while we think about just kind of the one-to-one, okay, we just open the floodgates to the pension funds and the 401k holders and the fiduciaries flooding into Bitcoin as just a one-to-one, just kind of raw capitalist investment. I think this is also going to open the door to regulatory clarity, which is going to give, the CVS, the Walgreens, as well as the Circle K's, the Exxon Mobils of the world, kind of the green light to say, we feel more comfortable with our bank, BlackRock, Fidelity. We feel comfortable with our bank issuing this ETF. Now we're going to go ahead and kind of advertise that we accept Ethereum and Bitcoin. And a lot of these places, there are credit cards that you can use and actually pay, or cards of some kind, debit cards that you can pay in crypto now. And some people use that and some people don't. But there'll be perks, right? There'll be adoption because a lot of these corporations are going to start to accumulate Bitcoin onto their balance sheet. There's actually a thesis by Gary Cardone. He's been kind of talking about this, and I've been really digging it, which is, and he comes from the energy world, is that a lot of energy companies hold a lot of commodities on their balance sheet, namely oil and natural gas, right? Because that's what they're pulling out of the ground and selling to you and me.
Yeah.
So it's a very natural progression for them to start holding another commodity called Bitcoin on their balance sheet as well. And once they start doing that, then they have a little skin in the game, they have a little interest, and you might start seeing, some incentives to go ahead and buy, your cigarettes and your sunflower seeds and your gasoline at the gas station with Bitcoin or Ethereum or something else like this. And then the same thing for the CVS and the Walgreens and the Kroger and the Publix and the the AMCs and whatever else it is. I think that we do need to see over the next 2 years, and then this bull cycle, we do need to see a breakthrough in adoption. Otherwise, that boomer conservative, Wall Street money is going to look at this and say it's never going to be anything more than just NFTs. It's just going to be this digital money that may be worth something, but we'd rather have shares in Amazon and Walmart and Google at the end of the day. So it's kind of a rallying cry. I don't think it's an all or nothing, but I do kind of need to hear and see a kind of a rallying cry of like these things that we go out and touch and feel and see. They need to start integrating crypto into it in one way or another. So that's kind of my thoughts as well.
I love that, Tshroom, and I've talked about this next bull run tying in with what you're saying as being utilitarian. Yeah. And so this is a perfect, transition into what you're just saying. Like, if we can actually tie the use case of these different assets to everyday things that people use, or people have that fundamental understanding of, hey, this benefits me because, for example, like Chainlink would be an easy one. You talk to a gambler and you say, hey, did you, watch the game last night? Yeah, I was, I had odds on this, that, the third, whatever. Right. And you're like, okay, well, now you can do that on the blockchain. Well, the information's got to get from the actual game, which is not on the blockchain, to on the blockchain. Right. There's this thing called Chainlink. And once people start to understand, oh, well, that makes a lot of sense, and here's how it could benefit you, and here's things that you could do that you can't otherwise do right now, and you start explaining that on just a everyday basis. I love what you're saying, because that is what needs to happen for true, real adoption to happen. And with the energy companies, it's really simple. We have a Bitcoin mining farm down in Paraguay, and the reality is the energy companies just waste energy. And if they're willing to invest some money or allow people to come in and invest money in the energy that they're wasting, why would they not? When you have flaring, they have all of this extra just energy that they're just throwing it into the atmosphere. See if they can harness that, turn that into Bitcoin and flip that and put it back on the market. I mean, it is a shoe in that this is going to be a winner long term. But you are correct. It's gonna take some fundamental understanding from people. How does this work, and how does it help me? Because it's a me world, right?
Yeah,
people want to know, what's it got to do with me? Because I don't really care unless it helps me.
Yep.
So smash that like. We got 213 people in here. Man, I'll tell you what. Let me take a peek. How many likes do we have over here? We've got 117 likes and 217-ish people in here. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are in the live chat on mobile, I know sometimes people get confused. Just X out of the live chat, hit the like. You can come right back in. Please smash those likes. It's a free thing that you can do for the YouTubes. All right, so Crusader, that's it for the expos, right?
That's it for the Twitter stuff.
I'm actually gonna. I had planned out a few more like articles that we were gonna dive into, but because of time, because we've had such a great conversation, I'm gonna kind of skip past.
Let's keep it going.
What's that?
Let's keep the great conversation.
Well, we can keep the great conversation going. I'm not gonna stop it. Tshroom, do you have a cutoff time today? I think your show goes in.
Yep. Yeah, I'll need to hop off here in the next minute or two.
Okay. All right, cool. Well, we can keep going.
Oh, you mentioned a show. What show? You talking about Investing Bros? It goes live at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time?
3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yeah, we actually today are going to keep all 216 of these people in here. We're going to hold them hostage.
Okay.
The Investing Bros isn't going to do real well today, bro. I'm sorry. You brought them over here. We're keeping them. Okay. No, yeah, guys. Make sure to follow Army. Make sure to follow Tshroom over at Investing Bros and Piper Academy. Let's pump up their channels. If you guys are not already subbed to them, make sure to check them out. And their links are down below the stream. Okay, so Tshroom, since you've got to jump off, let me just ask you. Let me just pull this real quick and just ask you what your thoughts are on this.
50 million.
50 million.
Tomorrow.
Okay. I like it. Right here. All right. So Bitcoin ETF will now dwarf gold performance based on historical data, right? I'm not going to dive into all of this, but here's what I'm going to say, right? Where is it right here? Where's the number? Right here. Okay. On January 11, 2024, 11 spot Bitcoin ETFs, this one right here, will launch in the US. That was this morning, obviously, 115.88 million under management via the sponsor seed funds. This means that they've taken $115 million in inflows. The issuers, BlackRock, Van Eck and company, will buy Bitcoin from the open market via Coinbase and Gemini, just like the rest of us. Thus, before trading commences, get out of there. Thus, before trading commences, removing grayscale, we're not going to count them. The combined spot Bitcoin ETFs will surpass gold's day one trading. Okay. Do you believe that, let me ask you this. I believe that you believe that we are going into a digital revolution and we're going to surpass gold. How long do you think it will be? We're going to break this down a little further. I think you're going to have to jump off, but how long do you think it'll be before we actually flip gold? Gold's at like 12 trillion right now, I believe.
Before Bitcoin or before crypto flips?
Let's talk the whole market. Let's talk the whole market.
I think we could see it in this cycle. I mean, so precious metal or gold is at like 11 trillion, I believe, somewhere around there. So. Piper's nodding his head. Yes,
somewhere around there. Yeah, 11,
I think we could see it. I think we could see it this cycle, right? I've heard some pretty educated voices speaking to that. One thing to keep in mind, I'll just sprinkle this in with the analysis before I go, is that in 2009, when that gold ETF was launched, there was actually a disproportionate thesis to go into gold because it was 2009, right? So it was kind of a flight to gold in that moment. So you have to take that into consideration with the calculation, which is just even more bullish, right? Is that if we're even putting that moment in the same conversation as the Bitcoin ETF, then it's pretty bullish. So with that, I will go ahead and hop off, but it's been a super big pleasure. And
dude, thank you
so much for having me on. And yeah, if you guys haven't checked out the Investing Bros and Keeper and Crusader will let you leave, then definitely come check us out, give us a sub, drop a like, and I'd be really happy to see you there. So
appreciate you, Tshroom. Have a great day, dude. Tell Tim we said hi.
All right, we'll
see you, bro. All right, so that was Tshroom over on Investing Bros. He's got a lot of good insight. So, Army, I want to pull you in on this. I'm going to pull this back up. They do a really deep dive on this, okay, and dive into the amount of seed investment that came into gold. How did gold trade at launch? I'm not going to dive into all of the specifics of this, but what I want to get into is sorry about this. I'm going to scroll a little far. See, look, there is just an absolute massive. So the comparisons with Bitcoin, as we can't compare Bitcoin over the same period as it was not launched in 2009. Its price discovery launched until 2009. Its price discovery was highly volatile during its early days. They've used 2015 through 2024 in the chart to compare the gold M2 versus Bitcoin M2. As you can see, Bitcoin has performed significantly better than gold, 7,082% over the past decade, even accounting for the 70% increase in the number of dollars in the M2 money supply. Look at this chart right here, right? You've got gold in red, right? Just and it just seems like
sauce.
What's that? What'd you say?
Weak sauce.
It has seemed like a damn near a freaking stable coin. And so here's my question to you. We have seen gold. with Bitcoin, we have this great thing. It's called a fixed supply, and people have that known number. So we know what the supply is. The only real unknown is how many Bitcoin actually have been lost, right? We know the Genesis wallet is there, but nothing's been moved, and there's speculation on whether that'll ever. But the reality is we know that 21 million will ever be created. We don't know all of the gold on planet Earth. We don't know. And so deposits will be found.
All the gold and meteors that they can at some point in the future use drones to drill out and bring back to Earth. Who knows?
The supply is unknown. It's not that it's endless. It's not, it's not that. But I think they found a massive, massive deposit. What was it?
I would definitely say it's endless.
Was it in Nigeria?
It was
something?
Almost double. Yeah, it was almost double of the current gold supply.
So could you imagine right now? Could you imagine right now if we were like, hey guys, remember how we told you Bitcoin's got 21 million? Just kidding. Gotcha, bitch. It's actually 42 million. We're letting you know now. We just added 21 million to it. It absolutely changes the ball game. And then also you have the fact that, hey, I want to travel across the world and I don't want to bring a ton of cash with me. I actually need to just get out of here altogether. Something's going on. Doesn't matter what. What am I going to do? Lug a big bag of freaking gold with me, bring some traveler's checks, bring a whole bunch of cash with me. Whereas with Bitcoin, right? So I guess what I'm getting at is you have so many different positive potentials with Bitcoin. And when value is just what multiple people agree on, we know that a whole lot of multiple people agree that Bitcoin has this intrinsic value. And we know the ultimate supply. And we have the happening, so that basically that gets tight. The rewards get tighter and tighter and tighter. This supply is just going to absolutely shrink. Crusader and I have talked about it before. People are going to be talking in Satoshis. They're not going to be talking in Bitcoin. The three of us are going to be a rarity because for having more than one Bitcoin. Like that's just a fact, right? Most people are not going to have that. So
check out this comment. This comment was related directly to that. I was in Uganda, and he's saying that the military has made it illegal to mine. Bro, that would cut the price of gold in half instantaneously.
I think it was literally like trillions of dollars.
Yeah,
it was massive.
It was double. It was double the amount of gold. It would double the amount of gold that we have on the currently in supply.
And you already know that BlackRock probably sent some people out there and said, "Hey, listen, that ain't getting mined.
Those mountains right now. Cash money."
No, they were saying, "Hell no, you're not mining that because that's gonna mess with our."
They're gonna buy it. They're just gonna buy it raw by the land.
Yeah,
and say it's ours.
And then just sit on it.
Yeah, that's right. Nobody's gonna mine.
Put a big fence around it and say, not happening.
Exactly.
So, what do you see, Army, when you're comparing gold and Bitcoin? Those are kind of the things that set them apart. Do you see numbers wise on the charts that playing out to where we're going to see, because there is a huge difference and there's a whole lot of benefits of Bitcoin versus gold? Does that play out on the charts, and that's why we're going to see such a successful Bitcoin? Or maybe Peter Schiff is right and Bitcoin's going to zero.
Peter Schiff's an idiot.
I know that.
First off, let me just, you know me, man. I'm always here for the honest drops, right? So look, at the end of the day, gold, yeah, it's had, its little run of value. If you bought it 12 years ago, you're about where you bought it at right now. Congratulations. I think that once the traditional institutions and traditional investors realize that I don't have to put this anywhere, they understand, look, I can do this through BlackRock and I can let it sit there and be safe. I don't have to worry about, learning custody and learning wallets, and everything becomes more simple for them. I think they're going to see that the true store of value on this planet is Bitcoin, not gold. And you're going to actually start to see that $11 trillion. It's not about Bitcoin getting to gold's $11 trillion. It's how much is going to flow out of gold's $11 trillion and into Bitcoin. I think you're going to actually cross
flowing
that
out of gold
way before. I think you're going to see it way before that 11 trillion mark. It's not about Bitcoin having to get up to 11 trillion. It's about gold holding its value when people start to understand Bitcoin and it comes down and they lock up.
I like that. I like that. MG says, what if the grid goes down? MG, I got news for you. all of your dollars at this point are effectively digital anyway. If that grid goes down, your dollars aren't going to be worth anything except for what you can set them on fire to keep you, to keep heat within your home. If the grid goes down, you better have freedom seeds, you better have water, you better have shelter, and you better have a way to get food and protect yourself. The bottom line is, if the grid goes down, you better be ready. Let's put it that way. You're not going to worry about what's in your bank account. You're not going to be able to use that. You're not going to worry about anything except for the things that I just mentioned.
You're not even worrying about it. It's like, what is the use case of it in a real grid down situation? That's the assumption there is that there will still be a level of society to be reconstructed after that, and not just total utter chaos, right? Because you're not going to be bartering your food that is now very limited for some gold. Because you can't do nothing with that gold.
Nothing.
Right? You want something else.
If the grid goes down.
Yeah, go ahead.
If the grid goes down, my cold storage wallet becomes useless, and my 3 gun safes in my house and the 3 veterans that live here become highly valuable. So
highly valuable.
Keeper, I'll find you. I'll meet you on the
ham radio.
Green.
That's right. That's right. And the facts are really simple. Let's say the grid were to actually go down, first of all, you have to understand that if the grid actually went down, that means that we have absolute world war chaos. I mean, you ain't gonna be worried about your money. And you're also saying that you believe that the government or that you would have any sort of the suggestion of asking that is like, oh, well, Bitcoin's only created with energy, and if the grid goes down, then it's not worth anything. I guess just to keep it simple, like, you have so much on your plate if the grid goes down that the last thing you're worried about is your money, because your money is going to all of a sudden turn into the protection that you have. That's going to turn into the food that you have. That's going to turn into the shelter that you have. It's just a whole different conversation. And that Bitcoin doesn't matter. Your dollars don't matter. Your bank account doesn't matter. None of that freaking matters, period. Crusader, you agree? Yep.
Oh, dude, 100%. I don't believe in the use case of gold in a grid down or any type of situation like that. That's movie stuff, bro. That people are just going to be bartering and working along with gold. People are just going to be thinking about food, water, and protection. That is it. Nobody's going to give up any of those 3 limited resources for gold or silver.
And if you do want more Bitcoin when the grid goes down, you can actually transmit Bitcoin via radio
frequencies.
Radio frequencies. That's a true story. You can look that up. That's a lot of people don't know that, but you actually can. All right, so we've dove into all of the different things that are what's happening in the markets right now. Let's go around, the 3 of us, and talk about. I have at the end here, I have like guest predictions. So I have a bet that a lot of you know about with Believes. I had one Ethereum that Bitcoin doesn't hit 50K before the halving. Do I believe I'm going to lose that bet? Yes, I do. I do believe that now I'm going to lose that bet.
You're losing that
bet. Not 3 months ago, but now you're like, oh.
Right. Like a few months ago, I wasn't so sure. I've been wrong before. I'll be wrong again. Yeah, I believe that I'm going to lose that bet. That being said, I have been saying consistently that we are due for a pullback. We are due for a dump. We are due for a correction. And just because all of this money in these ETFs is flowing into these markets does not necessarily mean that we're going to get some massive move, because a lot of people, have talked about this is priced in, that there's been, that a lot of these institutions have been seeding these funds. So a lot of that money was already accounted for, et cetera, et cetera. So let's go around. Let's give a prediction. It is the start of January.
I'll let Army go first.
Okay.
Sorry to interrupt, but what I think is not priced in is flipping HODL tomorrow for $3,900. Everybody watching right now, this is your opportunity to get in on the wheel before the utter madness of tomorrow breaks out.
Tomorrow's going to be chaos.
Tomorrow's going to be chaotic. Crypto Face is coming on to play. He's bringing his people as well. It's going to be wild. And today is the last. Is today going to be the last day that we double up everything?
And tomorrow, until Friday,
we'll be able to double it up. It's going to be too crazy.
Friday it'll be too crazy. So we'll just have to.
Today's the last day that everything is doubled up. All your entries are doubled. Whether there's a super chat member, a membership of the channel, or a gifting of the membership, all of that ends today. Today's your last chance to get on this wheel for flipping HODL, which is a mix of Deal or No Deal with Who Wants to Be a Millionaire being played live here tomorrow for $3,900. And one of you guys on the wheel is going to take that money home.
Hell yes. It's been $1,100, $700, and $872 the last 3 weeks that we've given away to 3 of our followers that have been on that wheel. So if you want to get on, do your thing now. All right. So Army, let me ask you, are you seeing, I kind of want to pose this a little bit. I want to pose this question a little bit differently.
Like that bet you made?
Yeah. I'd like to maybe edit that just a little bit. Army, do you see, let me ask it this way for you, Army. What's the highest you see this going before we get a big correction? And what do you think a correction at this point looks like?
I think 51,618 is a rejection point.
Just over 51. Okay.
Yep. And I think that the retracement is 38,387.
So all the way down into the 30s, low 50s to high 30s. And then do you see, like from what you're anticipating, let's say that plays out. So alts are going to absolutely dump hard off that move, right? But do you see a slow climb moving into the halvening, or do you see some chaos? Do you think market volatility and chaos are going to be a part and a new part of the ETF stuff being a reality with these big players in the game that can pick up their cell phone and inject millions or billions of dollars of liquidity into the markets now that the stock floor cronies are in on it, or what?
Well, I think that did you see the article that just came out like 30 minutes ago? Did you see that article?
I've been on here, so negative Ghost Rider. I have not.
Okay, so I'm always on the charts and then the articles. Yeah, I've got it up right now. So this is the spot Bitcoin ETFs record a $3.6 billion volume in trading for the first day.
Then look at Bitcoin. Then look at Bitcoin down point, and it's red. That down 0.20.
Yes,
or down 0.7.
But guess what? They have to buy this tomorrow, guys. They have to buy their Bitcoin that they need to buy tomorrow.
Oh yes,
they had their seed funds.
We were talking about that in the back end before the show started about how the buying happens and how does it actually affect how the price will be affected. So you're saying all the volume coming in today doesn't get reflected in the price until tomorrow.
Till tomorrow.
Oh, hold on, Army. Hold up. Hold on.
Game, my friend.
Hold on. This is what we were talking about, though. If that indeed is the case, and I can every single day see the volume coming into Bitcoin, into these ETFs, if that's the case moving forward, you literally are going to have people playing absolutely, I don't want to use the word I was thinking, but you're going to have people playing freaking games with these markets because they are going to know how much volume is pumping in. What?
Yeah, you don't know if that volume is selling or buying.
What do you mean?
Volume is just volume. They tell you it was a buy or sell.
They state in the article that it was buying and selling volume. So they've
got both. They've got buying and selling volume in there. In that, I thought they were just saying inflow.
But it was record. It was record volume for an ETF launch. So but if you actually look at the 11, the ranking of who did the best, it was Grayscale Bitcoin Trust with 1.7
billion,
$1.7 trillion there. Yeah. Then iShares was next with 867 million, and then Fidelity, FBTC, ARC's 21 shares. They're sitting kind of low, all the way at the bottom. By the way, guys, Bitwise Bitcoin ETF announced that they are donating 10% of all of their earnings off of this ETF back into the crypto industry developers and stuff.
The core developers of Bitcoin.
Oh yeah. I heard that.
Yep.
That's cool.
But all the way down at the bottom, DeFi Hashdex Bitcoin ETF coming in with 3.4 million. So
who the heck are those?
It's just one of the 11 ETFs, man. They are pioneers in the institutional adoption of Bitcoin.
So this isn't going to reflect until tomorrow. So tomorrow could you theoretically put a straddle?
Start replacing.
Could you put a straddle trade with a tight stop on both sides and be ready?
A schlong?
Yes, a schlong effectively for tomorrow, understanding that we're probably going to. So let me ask you this. You trade all the time. Are you going to trade this? Are you going to attempt to trade this? And if so, is it because you're trusting your indicator so much, or are you going to sit this one out and see what the hell happens? Because it's the first time we've ever seen this.
I'm pretty heavily in on spot right now since October.
Oh, so your 2x, your 2x format, like your 2x.
Yeah, I'm up a lot since October, bro.
Yeah, I've got a lot of money.
My 5-year $1 million plan is running way ahead of schedule.
Escalating. That's right.
It is very quickly. So I probably won't trade this. There's no reason to take on any extra risk right now. But
because it's unknown, right? It's just so holy crap. We've never seen this. We don't know what's going to happen.
It is unknown, right?
Yeah.
Right. And I always I love technical analysis. That was how I knew to get in back on October 20th. I told the Investing Bros community, hey, this is what I'm buying, and I'm buying today. And then that weekend it just shot off, and we've been running ever since. But as much as I love TA, fundamental analysis is a make or a break for a lot of trades. So I've got to go with the fundamental analysis on this one and go, this volatility could get really crazy, especially on it being a Friday, heading into a weekend, low volume. And remember, guys, these institutions with the ETFs, they're not trading on the weekend.
Oh, that's what I wanted to ask you. Crusader, we talked about this, and I said I wanted to bring that up, but go ahead first. Go ahead.
Before we get into that, David Brumbelow with a $10 super chat. Massive shout out. Put that man on the wheel. 20.
He's on there, baby.
20
times. 20 times.
40 times?
He's 40.
He's a member.
He's a member. He's 40. I'm glad you just said that.
So 40 slots for David. Shane just became a member. Congratulations. Welcome to the family. Mark Dutch gifted 5 memberships. Let's go. Welcome, Crypto Gamer, Chris Doe, David MC, Sky, and Levante Lazar. Welcome all. Take advantage of these gifts, guys. And Arctic Fox also gifting 10 more memberships as well. Put all these people on the wheel, my friend.
I'm doing it. I'm working on it. I'm working on it.
10 new members. The Golden Jeff, Broktoshi, No Dinero.
Brokio. I think his name is Brokioshi No Dinero because I've seen this. I've seen that name before. It's a great name.
I love him. That name and Jenny from the blockchain.
That's nice. That's
Joe, good. OC Gardner, Clinton Q, Al Asadi, and Crypto Ric Flair, all new members as well. Welcome.
Good news. I've got the live chat.
And sending those super chats to double up because tomorrow $3,900 is on the line, and this is your last opportunity to get on that.
Good news. I've got this pulled up and saved and live chat replay on, so don't worry if I don't get everybody in right this second. Trust me. I've got it. I got you. Thank you guys all for being here. So, Army, let me ask you this. So you started to touch on it. You said, hey, remember, these institutions only trade on Monday through Friday, okay? Bitcoin is 24/7. So here's the question. Does the stock market conform to the crypto markets, as it were, in terms of changing possibly how they handle their... I'm not saying the stock market floor is going to be open 24/7. I'm saying, are they going to change their ability to trade stocks as they move towards tokenizing stocks, et cetera? Is that the future? Or do the people that are buying these ETFs that are involved, when they see these huge swings in crypto and they have no ability to take profits or get in or whatever direction they're trying to go until Monday morning or whatever, do they just have to deal with it?
They just have to deal with it. And by the way, Monday is Martin Luther King Day, so it's a 3-day weekend for those markets.
3-day weekend too,
man.
Yeah.
So they're just gonna have to deal with it. You don't think it's gonna? You don't think the stock market at some point is going to be tokenized and just be 24/7 anyway?
When it becomes tokenized, and Larry Fink has talked about this, a couple of other big names, I do believe the future of the stock market is tokenized. That way they can trade it 24/7. Why would they not want to have that constant 24/7, 365, and a fourth of a day trading the markets, right? So I do believe eventually that will happen, but we need structured regulation in America. Smart regulation needs to come out first before they can do that. When that happens, yeah, absolutely. But until then, spot Bitcoin ETF tradable Monday through Friday, unless there's a federal holiday. There you go. So, and they have to, someone asked me to explain that a little bit more in the chat. Yeah, so their seed funds bought their Bitcoin. That was what the seed fund was for, to buy their stock of Bitcoin, because they have to have it on hand in order for people to buy the ETF. Any shortage that they have of Bitcoin, they have to buy more Bitcoin now, and they can't do that until tomorrow because they have to do the order forms and then file it that they're buying this. Like, institutions have rules and guidelines they have to follow. So it's going to take them 24 hours to get that submitted up to SEC that they're buying more Bitcoin. That's going to be coming in tomorrow. So depending on how much of that today was buying of their seeded supply, is going to be bought tomorrow. So, and
because they're
the last
cash
day they can buy it,
converts
then
or whatever. I think they're called cash
cash
converts. Is that
converts.
right?
Bingo.
Yeah.
Bingo. That's it. That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
50K, baby.
You're on
We're
it, Cooper.
going. 50K. Let's go.
We got 239 people in here, and I'm going to take a peek, but I don't think we have 200. We got 166 likes. Can we get to 200 likes, guys, before the stream is over? We need 34 likes. 34 likes, guys. It'll be really simple. X out of live chat if you're on mobile. Hit the like. Come right back in. It's the simple and free way to support the stream. We appreciate everybody for being here. Heck of a stream. Crusader, what is your take on what's going to transpire as we move forward with this ETF? You've talked about it, but we've got people in here that aren't here every day. You think super cycle?
Yeah. Super cycle all the way. I think all the catalysts, all the stars have aligned for the super cycle to ever occur. If there's a moment in history for the super cycle to happen, it is this year. It is now. We've got inflation, right? We got the rate cuts coming in. We've got the election year. We've got the halving happening in the next couple of months. We just got the ETF approval. We got the stamp of Wall Street that is go buy Bitcoin now. What more do you need, right, for a massive cycle in the markets, right? We've got countries. Argentina has got like 200% inflation now. It just came out today, I believe. Somebody was talking about it in the chat, right? So like all these things are happening. These countries are going to want more Bitcoin. They're going to understand that that is the way to go. They're seeing how MicroStrategy is buying up Bitcoin, and he's up like almost $10 billion in profit or whatever it is, whatever crazy billion number he is. The reform of that rule, what is it called, the FASB or whatever, that now companies can hold Bitcoin on their balance sheet and be able to actually report that in their earnings, meaning they're going to boost their earnings report by just simply holding Bitcoin on their balance sheet instead of just holding cash that's doing nothing for them, right? They can actually boost their earnings, making obviously investors more likely to go buy their stocks and be more hyped up about it. So all these things are happening right now, right? The FOMO news hasn't even hit yet. People are, like we were saying, we're still traumatized from the bear market. We're still skeptical. We still think this isn't real. There's no way that all these things are happening. The realization won't happen until we cross all-time highs. And once we do, it's just straight blast off time. The only question is, when are we going to cross that, right? When are we going to hit that all-time high? We're going to hit it 2025, like how regular cycles have been? Or are we going to hit that this year?
Oh, we're going to hit this year.
Or after halving, right? Soon after the halving, which is something we don't normally see for Bitcoin. But if we see those things and all these events are coming together this year, I think super cycle is now or never.
I think the landscape has changed dramatically. You joke around with me being the bear, and I try to kind of keep things down on planet Earth, but that's just for me personally. It's not that I don't believe, because I've been in crypto now for 7 years. Like,
you guys heard it here, guys. That's just for him. That means don't listen to whatever he says.
I believe in what this crypto thesis is. I believe in where we're headed as a community and as a world. We are headed into this digital future, right? And there's a lot of beautiful things that are going to come from the blockchain that are happening right now. Also, a lot of drawbacks as well, as it were, with our privacy, with the central bank digital currencies. We could be here all day talking about all that. But what I will say is, right now, with the ETFs, with traditional finance now involved, we have a lot of unknowns. And so I think that, and this is just kind of my prediction here, I think that the way that some of these traders currently trade, or up until this point, might change a little bit. I think that there is going to be some strategies that are going to come in now that the big boys and girls are here to play, that might change how other traders have been, looking at these markets. Now, do I think it'll be a good thing? Yeah, I think it's going to be a good thing. Obviously, there's going to be trillions of dollars of money flowing into these markets. It legitimizes it. You've got regulations coming into play, like for our dollars, if you will, for our Satoshis, gonna be a good thing. But with the good comes the bad. So just a reminder, please, please, please do your research on what it is you're getting involved in. There's so many things coming out that look like a beautiful thing on the face, but you're giving something up on the back end, right? So just keep your privacy in mind. Keep all of your just keep all of your ducks in a row and know what you're doing when you're getting into this thing called cryptocurrency. It is a huge opportunity for you to change your future, right? But you got to be I think you have to BYOB. You got to be your own bank, not bring your own beer, but be your own bank. We believe in self-custody. Don't let these fools take your money and hold on to it for you. You know what I'm saying? This ETF is an opportunity for the old folk to get in. Us crypto-centric folk, we know how to be our own bank, and we don't have to pay anybody a management fee. We can just continue to pick up those earnings. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Yeah. Army, anything you got going on over in Piper Academy? We got 243 people in here that definitely need to be subbing to Piper Academy. His link is down below. We need to do that.
While I was live on here, we hit 600 subscribers. So I hit 600 in about 90 days. So thank you guys very much for that.
Great,
appreciate
it. You. Fantastic.
And then, so here's what's going on. We're live Monday through Friday, every morning, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We go over a lot of the stuff that we talked about here today. We look at the economic stuff. We look at, hey, next Monday, market's going to be closed, right? So that has a play on crypto, whether you like it or not. We are tied to that risk-off investor environment, right? So plus we look at the macroeconomic calendar. We go through what targets are moving, or what assets are moving on the crypto markets, what the targets are that we're looking at. We go over trade setups. There's 3 of us on there, TradeFly, myself, OC guy, doing the TA. So you got a show with 3 technical analysts looking at fundamental, macroeconomic, and technical analysis. And it's live for every morning, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then starting next week, we're going to have beginner's guides, static videos coming out on, how does grandma buy crypto, stuff like that. And then we've also got some deep dives coming in from Crux of Crypto that's on my team also over here. He's going to be doing fundamental deep dives. First one that he's starting off with is CASPA. He's going to be grading it on a GPA because Piper Academy, right? So it's GPA, right. It's graded project assessment. Giving it scores and stuff like that. So we've got a lot of great content that's going to be coming up, and we're just going to keep growing the community and hashtag givers gain. Shout out to Crypto Billy. That's what we're here for, is to try to help people become financially free. I fought for 22 years in the military for America's freedom, and now I'm going to fight very hard every day trying to get people to financial freedom. So,
dude, we love it. We love it. We bring you on for a reason. We know you're knowledgeable. We know you're a good dude. Love the fact that you're in the military. Thank you for your service, man. We just love you as a whole. I do want to say before we sign off, real quick, just last reminder, guys, Flipper HODL is tomorrow. Crusader's pulling it up. If you haven't seen this, now it's going to be a little different from what he's showing you right now, just from the standpoint of we don't have the background music playing, and we don't have the questions and blah, blah, blah.
10 rounds of opening up 5 cases at a time until you get bank offers at the end of each round.
Dude, the first bank offer, $410.
$410 right here, right now. If you HODL it, you take that home right now, and it's over, and you take $410. If you flip it, you go into a question, right? If you get that question right, a multiplier between 1 to 5% on top of that money. You keep playing, right? You open up 5 more cases, and there you go. Now you get another bank offer, $399 plus whatever multiplier you won, right? You flip it again. You go for another 5, right? You're still playing. There's $4,000 on the line right here at the bottom. Get another bank offer. You keep flipping, right? Because nobody wants to stop there. You want to keep going for that $4,000. Now you got $450, whatever multiplier you've been accumulating this whole time. It could be 10%, it could be 15%, it could be whatever.
But you want to keep going, baby.
What was that?
I said, but you want to keep going. Keep it rocking and roll. We're up at $475 on the bank offer. And as a reminder, we're asking crypto-centric questions in between to the guest. And then somebody on that wheel is going to win this money. Dude, the bank offer's at $550.
$50 right now.
Keep it playing. And you're just rocking out guessing.
This is what you're playing for. This is what you're playing for with all these super chats. $2, $3, whatever it is, plus all the multipliers that we have with you guys this week. This is what it's going to get you. 5, right? One of the first people that ever won the show jumped in with a $10 super chat, walked away with $870 that day.
Yeah.
$870.
The same day. He was the first time he'd ever been on the show, too.
Yeah.
That current bank offer that's on there, at $550, I think I've done that much in super chats with you guys.
Hey, listen, we appreciate it. What did you do? Take out all the big ones on that last round?
Took out 4,000. Took out
all the big ones, didn't you?
All the big numbers, right? It's up to you.
One of these times I might One of these times I might give you guys a super chat and tell you to put my name down on there, and then I'll just come on and play for somebody else because this looks fun.
Look at this. Look at this. The last three that are on the wheel are $515, $775, and $1,150. So if this was playing, if you were actually playing, I say no, hell no. You flip that because 515 versus 542. Why not?
100%.
All right, so let's see. What are you about to do here?
I'm gonna open 48. It's the 515, bro.
Oh,
We're
dude.
either taking 775 or 1150 home right now. Guys, drop it in the chat. If we keep it, right, that means we open up the golden case. That's the case that we picked from the very beginning. If we hit keep it, that's what opens up. Whatever's there is what we take home. If we change it for number 9 and we reveal what's in there, and that's what we take home. Drop it in the chat right now. Do we keep it or do we change it?
Or do we change it? Keep it or change it. Drop it in the chat. This is how the game goes. There's questions in between, just like we said. Keep it or change it right now. Crypto Chef and Sean both said keep. That was the first 2 I saw.
Okay.
Crypto Pollo, that's 3 in a row, are saying keep it. Keeper saying keep it. Keep it. Keep it.
All right, here we go.
Keep it.
775, baby. It's not the 1150, but you still accumulated $775 off what? $10 super chat plus whatever multiplier, which we've gotten about what 12%, 15% sometimes in some games on top of that, which is a massive amount of money.
Yeah, it would have been probably 800. That would have been probably $850 in a bad case, unless somebody just missed all the questions. So
that's what I'm talking about.
Hey, by the way, Bitcoin up about $50 away from breaking 47K right now as we speak. It's on its way back up.
Yeah, it's on its way back up, bro. We're moving.
Let's go.
Moving.
Baby.
We're
That's what
moving.
I told you, bro. I'm telling you.
Crypto fam, what'd you say?
Being a bear.
Sorry. Quit being a bear. Keeper, quit being a bear.
Quit.
Okay. I'll tell myself to quit being a bear. Crypto fam, we love you guys. We appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Listen, we're here Monday through Friday, 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Check out Piper Academy, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Friday. And then Tshroom was on here. They're on at 3 o'clock. After we are, you can hang out in the morning with Army. You can come over to us, to Crypto Wars at 1:30, and then you can go hang out with Investing Bros at 3 o'clock. Sounds like a great day to me. Lots of good alpha coming out. Question everything.
Trust nothing.
And until next time, HODL.
Like it's hot.
We will see you soon. We appreciate you, Army. We love you guys. Have a